I left you to do one thing, like that's all you had to do.
You brought the laptop, I forgot to record. Okay, I'd like to call to order the Village of Lansing Planning Board meeting of Tuesday, August 29th to order at 7:02 PM. We do have a quorum. Lisa is not here, Pat is not here. I'm not sure if Emil is gonna make it or not, but I am here and Jim is here and Lorraine is here, so. First item on the agenda is the approval of minutes for August 14th, 2023. I know everybody got a chance to chime in on those, so did anybody have any final comments on those? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Go ahead.
All right, I will make a motion to approve the minutes of the Monday, August 14th, 2023 planning.
Motion by Jim, second by Lorraine, all in favor? Aye. Okay, next item on the agenda is the public comment period. So this is an opportunity for anyone to bring up anything that's not already on the agenda for tonight.
Susan Ainsley, covering for the Board of Trustees.
Hey, Susan.
I'm Carla Musso, and I'm here as an observer for the community party.
Hey, Carla. Anybody else? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to close. Do I have to? I always forget about this. Close the public comment period. Yeah, thanks.
Move to close the public comment period.
Motion by Jim. Second by Lorraine. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next item on the agenda. So are we just going to strike this? Okay, so next item on the agenda was the public hearing for a requested amendment to a special permit. That's going to be taken off the agenda for this evening because we're not ready for that item. So the next item on the agenda is the planning board review of tree cutting at 4 and 8 Dart Drive. Simon Gould, representing Habitat for Humanity of Tompkins and Cortland counties, has applied for a building permit for 4 Dart Drive, tax parcel number 46.1-1-6.28, and 8 Dart Drive, tax parcel number 46.1-1-6.27. Both parcels will require approximately 40% of the existing trees to be removed. As per Village Code, section 145-27B, planning board review is required if more than 25% by number of trees are removed from any tax parcel within a 3-year period. Do you want to start us off, Mike?
Yeah, I'll say a couple things here, and then a lot of this is self-explanatory, and I'll let either Simon or Shannon continue with this. First of all, we got Simon Gould, and we have Shannon McCormick. Both of them are from Habitat for Humanity. Both parcels are taking off in the upper 30s as far as percentage-wise of the existing trees. From driving by, looking at the lots, in general, the larger trees, a lot of the good trees are either in the middle or the back of the property, and in the front there's quite a bit of underbrush, buckthorn, a bunch of invasive type plants that'll probably end up getting moved in general on a construction site that's going to get beat up anyway. So like the agenda said, they're here because over 25% the planning board needs to approve this. Just a side note that when the proposed trees are cut down, like I said, it's not a requirement, but just to let you know that the actual both lots still have the minimum 30 units per acre on it. Just want to let you know that.
Okay, thanks, Mike. Simon or Shannon?
Now you both are on mute. Okay.
Hi, I'm Shannon. I don't know if Simon has anything specific about the actual, trees, and we're happy to answer questions about what we're cutting or when, or, if anybody has questions about that. I think, like Mike said, some of it in front is probably not highly desirable anyway, and would probably not, survive construction to begin with. I think the primary question we had is I think Simon mentioned that there was a fee involved or some kind of exchange for if you're cutting more than 25% of those trees, some amount of money paid back to the Village of Lansing to be used for planting new trees or something, I think, and just looking for some clarification on how much that is or how that's determined or if that's even in play with this particular situation. But
Well, basically, the law states that if you're cutting over 25%, well, I'll paraphrase here. If you're cutting over 25%, the planning board has the right, they may ask you to donate to the tree bank of the village.
Okay.
And that's basically how it's cut.
Yeah, it's not a required payment, but is a permissible action by the board to seek that payment if they want to.
Simon, anything that you wanted to add?
No, I think it might cover most of this. So we're trying to maintain as many trees as possible so that the lot still has natural shade and protection from any weather or prevailing winds. So that's how we sort of, I met our tree contractor, limb walkers out there, and we sort of scoped out what would make sense to make room for the house and not cause any damage to any of the trees we left by severing roots and things like that during the excavation process.
Sure. Okay. Lorraine or Jim, I have some comments, but I'll let you all comment first if you want to say anything or ask anything.
I don't have any comments now.
Neither do I.
Okay. I know, so one of the things that I will share is we are short a couple board members tonight. And I would really like to get their input on that, because I know that they've had questions. Generally, when these kinds of discussions come up, the tree law is new. One of the questions that I had, though, was, you know, like the law says, we can require payment into the tree bank. I don't know, I can give you my opinion on that. It's not the full board's opinion. You know, my opinion is, given the project and given the, you know, the effort that you've kind of gone through to really minimize the tree removal, you know, limited to what you need to do to safely, you know, build a house there and protect the other trees on those lots, that I don't want to go down that route. One of the things, though, that I think that the planning board, again, in my opinion at least, might be interested in is, in lieu of requiring that, you know, maybe saying, hey, can you put a couple trees in across the frontage of the property there? That is something that is another part of the law, and we do require in some situations, but I think that, you know, at least in my opinion, I'd be a lot more inclined to say, if you can put a couple of trees in, I think that would really help with the property and still maintain the goals that you're trying to reach and that the village tree law is trying to address.
Yeah, I can't see.
There's not a whole lot of tree frontage there, so, right, it's not like you can go in and, you know, line up 50 trees across the tree frontage there. It's pretty narrow, so.
Well, and that's one of the reasons we were going to keep that. The up at 8 Dart Drive, there's actually a beautiful yew tree which we're going to preserve in the front. So, yeah, we've quite happily plant some trees at the front as part of our final landscaping, and we work with a landscape architect to do that. So we can put in some trees. Does the village have a preferred type of tree they like to see planted in new developments? Or
There's a list.
Yeah, there's a list of approved, you know, trees, vegetation, things like that in the village. We can Mike can get that to you.
okay,
It's not available right now, but yeah, definitely. Because there are some invasive species, obviously, that we don't want planted anywhere.
well, that's why I was asking. We're going through all this work to clean up a lot, and yeah, there's definitely room either side of the driveway to bring some trees in to make it look good from the street as well.
Yeah,
and provide a little barrier for the homeowner as well.
Right, absolutely, and I think that's the big thing. It's for everybody. It's for just, you know, beautification of the village and the property owner there. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay. Those were the only comments I had. Again, you know, if you can hold off, by all means, till the next meeting, I think we could definitely, that gives you a little bit of time to, you know, talk to your landscape architect and see what's possible, and we can also, you know, potentially, you know, take a vote at the next meeting if that works for you.
Yeah, so the next meeting is later in, when's the next meeting? Sorry, just so I.
September 11th.
Yeah.
So just a couple weeks, yeah.
Yeah, that would work, because, yeah, we've got a tentative sort of, our tree, the limb walkers has a window later in September that they would be able to come to do the work, so that would work out perfect, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'll get a little proposal together to show some planting there at the front, just so you got an idea of what.
Okay, perfect.
Look to do, yeah.
Lorraine or Jim, anything else you want to add after?
No, I think that your desire to want to to get a little more time to get input from other members. I completely agree with that, given the work that they've put in and the fact that, you know, they have a strong interest in this subject.
Yeah, but I also agree with your suggestion about adding trees at the front, totally.
Yeah, as long as they're on the list and they're essentially native species, not planting these
Yeah.
evergreens that looks fake and slapdash.
Yeah. Right. Mike, anything else?
Not really, as long as everything works out for everybody's schedule, I think that's a great idea.
Okay, so Shannon, Simon, you know, get in touch with Mike and he can get you the information that you need and make sure that you're on the agenda for the next meeting.
Okay, great, thank you.
Sounds good, thank you.
We appreciate it. Other than that, I do like, you know, I'm personally happy that, you know, that there's some things from the habitat going in on those lots there. I think that's great.
We are too.
Yep.
Thanks.
All right,
Thanks.
thanks.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the discussion of the solar array draft law. So I did make, after the last board meeting, I did make a couple edits that some people had provided. I didn't get through Natalie's, but Natalie and I are either going to meet after the meeting here tonight or some other time to get them all kind of finalized and out to everybody else. Some of them are, you know,
Hard to read.
some of them are hard to read. No, I was gonna say, some of them are corrections, just like things that we noticed are, you know, some formatting things, some things like, standardizing the way they do things, and then some of them are questions, so we'll make sure that those are noted in there, and we'll get them out to everybody so we can have a discussion at the next meeting. And if you do see them and you do have them, I think the easiest thing for now that we're coming down to kind of the last few things, send me an email, we can meet, you know, one-on-one, so it's not, you know, not a board corner, but we can meet one-on-one, and we can kind of incorporate whatever your changes are, things right into the live document, and we'll get it sent back out to everybody.
Yeah, and sometimes for editing things, and although I haven't done it, it's easier to actually print it out. And
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
a paper.
Oh, absolutely, and that's fine too, but, and if you want to do that, I think, for me, just the ease of, like, you know, everybody giving them, you know, 5 different copies to me, go ahead and mark them on the paper, and then we can have a quick, I'm sure it won't take 20 minutes to incorporate them right into the document, and I can work with you on that. That'll be fine.
My big thing was making sure that the Village of Lansing, or however you.
That one I fixed, yeah.
Because
Yeah, that one,
there
and
was a lot of those.
yeah, that one I fixed in the code enforcement officer, whatever we decided.
Yeah, whatever
to call that.
whatever his title was gonna be, yeah.
I had incorporated that already into it. I had done it, and I just hadn't sent out an
Oh.
update with it. Because I noticed it from a previous comment that I think Lisa gave me.
And what about the unified solar plan, the one that needed to be changed because
The actual permit or the plan itself? Or the verbiage in
I
the,
thought Pat.
yeah, that one, Pat was gonna, I think, tackle that.
oh, Pat was, okay, oh, yeah, right, it's not unified anymore.
Yes. The ununified, the Village of Lansing ununified. But yeah. Okay. Any questions on that, though? Like I said, I think I would love to have something to the trustees here, and if, you know, by the end of the year, I think.
You're
I
almost.
think it's close. You know, even, you know, at the discussion we had last time after, you know, Natalie had a chance to look at it, I don't think, there wasn't anything structurally like, oh my gosh, what are you thinking? It was more like, if you say this here, it doesn't make sense here, okay, we can fix that. So that, I think it was, you know, smaller things, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
The trustees may not have a meeting till the 18th, the way things are, or till October, the way things are looking.
Yeah, they canceled the last one.
I was waiting to
Thanks, Ed, too.
give that report.
Oh, shit.
Next now. Yeah, no, okay. Well, in that case then,
Sarcasm here, that's
it's total truth, I know. Well, in that case, Jim, now's your time to sign. The next item on the agenda is the trustee report.
Well, I mean, the Dana is known, so the last trustees meeting was canceled, so there is no report.
And then on to other business. Lorraine?
I don't have anything.
Record?
Well, it might be, hold on, no. Jim?
I don't have anything.
I have to go over a few things, I'll make it quick.
Go for it, no.
To just give you an idea of what is going to be happening, the way things are looking, it's looking like the beers are now getting streamlined. They'll be ready for the first meeting of next month. The way things are going, you've been a part of the emails and everything, so I think we're moving much better with that. Late in the month, you're gonna see Eric, he can't make the early meeting, He's gonna make the late meeting along with, that will be a full meeting along with the PDA.
Okay.
So they're on schedule to come in and give you pretty much a presentation of what the Board of Trustees got. So you're gonna get, you know, brand new, you get it from ground up from Alex, so that you're familiar with the whole job. And
Alex was the one that presented at the joint meeting?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, so start getting into the meat of that. A couple other items, we were talking about the tree law. The Uptown property that Cornell had, the gentleman's name is Stephen Furr, who's part of the organization that's looking to put in these 170 units or so. He wanted to, he was discussing with me about this tree law. And, you know, the tree law being new and everything, it's also these larger projects. We don't get a lot of these larger projects. The actual lot that they're looking to build on is like a jungle, an absolute jungle. He was wondering, you know, it's going to be very difficult to go in and get a count of what the trees are there. He says, somebody will go in, they'll never come out. He goes on the backside towards 13, he says it's a little bit easier because it opens up, you have larger trees. He was just, he kind of wanted to put the, I guess, the bug in your ear to, is there some way that they can not count the ones in the front just for the beginning count? He said a lot of them are going to come out anyway. This is me saying, a lot of them are going to come out anyway because of the nature of the beast. The project is a big project. They're going to, from what I've spoken with Stephen, they're going to leave most of the trees that are lining Route 13 just as a buffer, sound buffer and whatnot, a visual buffer. And of course, with this project, I don't know if you remember, the Ithaca Swim Club will probably have a buffer there also because of residential with the commercial next to each other. But I wanted to kind of bring that up to you that, you know, maybe we can come about this differently, that they can give you a general idea of what's the amount of tree units that are on that lot, but they might not be right down to the perfect tree or the number of 4-inch trees. And I don't think it's an issue because most of that jungle is in near the roadside, which is going to be cleared out anyway because of the infrastructure. So, like I said, I just kind of wanted to bring that up to you guys to let you know that, you know, this, we might have to do a little different approach on this, but they're not trying to get away with anything. They're just trying to keep somebody from going in and never coming out again.
Was this a project that was presented a long time ago? Because I
This
don't, I know,
hasn't been
this is.
presented at all.
Hasn't been.
Oh,
Yeah, there have been people that come to talk about the property before, but there hasn't been, yeah, formal.
I'll start, you know, in talking with Stephen, he's looking at possibly October coming to the board to kind of introduce the whole project and start getting things going on it. So as you can see, you're gonna have your handful. Your hands are gonna be, you guys are gonna have 3 large projects coming at you at the same time. And that's not counting, you know, Eric stuff. So it's gonna be pretty busy. So if we can get this solar law completed, you know, maybe by next, you know, by the next meeting, then at least that's off our plate. We can move that, set that aside, you know.
So what's he looking to do? Are these apartments?
Yes, it'll be similar to an East Point, but with buildings of different design. Buildings, there'll be some, from what I've seen the preliminary is, there's some duplexes, there's some fourplexes, there's some townhouses. It's kind of a mixed bag.
So 2 stories max?
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna have issues on being over 35 feet. So they would need any type of variance or whatnot. I mean, they're coming to you because you need a special permit for multi-unit dwellings in high-density residential.
who's the developer?
I can't remember offhand. I can find out where I can't remember offhand. We have spoken to the Stephen Furr about, the first thing we spoke about was actual sewer units. this project does come to fruition, then we are extending our sewer lines to keep the sewer from that project within the village limits. If we don't extend our sewer lines, then what we do is we have to go across the street to Burley Drive, and then it goes down through 2 other municipalities and ends up costing the village. So this is how we're doing this. And of course, if we are extending our existing sewer, we are making them pay for it, because that's, that's just gonna be the way it is. There's just a lot that I can't explain here. There's just so much going on with that project. If this happens and this happens, and this happens and this happens. So it'll be coming to you, but I just wanted to put something in your ear about, how he's going to calculate the trees. It's about a $15 million project.
And it still sounds like probably, other than that buffer of trees you mentioned along Route 13, at some point it's just gonna be one big bulldozed plot of brown dirt.
Yeah, from what he's talking about is they're going to try to stay away from the highway.
But everything else.
Right, but I mean, what's remaining?
Yes, what's remaining. But there's also, they have taken account, there's also a NICEAG easement going through there, there's power lines going through there.
Oh, yeah.
Right
Yeah,
through the
they're
middle
right there.
there, so that obviously can't be developed.
What's
So
that?
that obviously can't be developed. So, and you can't really put any extra trees on it.
I'm just trying to remember where exactly they go through.
It's like behind the park. If you were at the park there, like in the parking lot, and you look up, you've got the swim club to your right, you've got 13 up to your left, and I think it goes right up through there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it comes from, you can see it best if you're driving on Warren Road.
Oh, no, I've seen it, I'm just trying to remember, I'm just trying to visualize it and remember.
So, like I said, I just want to bring that up. The last thing I've got is Jody has asked me that in the month of September, that the planning board members, you probably already heard it.
Yeah, she already sent it.
Okay,
Yeah,
I just
she
want to
said-
remind you
I've got it
guys to
printed
keep
and
track of
ready
your
to
time.
go.
Just keep track of your time, because she wants to have some type of base on how many hours a month planning board spends on village business.
So we get to do timesheets.
It's time sheets, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
And that's about all I have.
Yeah. Okay. I had one thing, and that was just a discussion I had with Lisa. We talk about, and I've already added to my list to, think about at some point, it's not a priority now, but we talk about all these things. We talk about solar, how some places have a solar law, some places don't, we don't, we're working on one. Great. We've talked about short-term rentals, we've talked about accessory structures, all these other things, and I don't know, I know why I was gonna say, I don't know why I was randomly thinking, but I know why I was randomly thinking about it the other night, is, I talked to Mike at a few meetings ago, and he mentioned it too, that there's a place that wants to put a, like a electric vehicle charging station in behind, near where the old Friendly's was, up there. And so I added it to the list. At some point, I don't see this diminishing, right? EVs are coming more prominent. I own one, other people do too. It might be something that we want to think about trying to get ahead of. I realize that we have a long list of other things to do first, but I put it on the list to think about, maybe we want some sort of, local law about EV. I think that there's probably going to have to be more of them, and there will be more of them, and, what as a village do we need to do to, make sure they fit in right here and people are safe, both drivers and pedestrians and residents and all that, so I added that to the list.
And on Friendly's, is anybody gonna be taking over that property?
The old Friendly's?
The old Friendlies?
Yeah,
The only thing I've heard, there was someone who was looking to put a Korean restaurant in.
oh, that could be good.
But they wanted to own the property, and Brixmore does not want to sell that property. So I gave them Eric's number for this restaurant down here.
Oh.
I know someone else that's interested in that restaurant.
Let's not call it a restaurant anymore, okay?
I know, it's like a broken
Let's
down.
call it a
Well,
plot
I
of land at
heard
this point.
that that old restaurant is being looked at for a steakhouse.
Up there.
Which one?
What old restaurant?
The one next to Horowitz's property.
You mean the old David's restaurant from many,
Oh,
many
that's
years
been
ago?
like empty for years.
Yeah,
It's like a green building?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
Somebody's looking at that for a restaurant?
it's been talked about for a while, so I don't know how
Wow.
serious, but
It's so funny, because it wasn't long ago I drove by, and I remember when that was David's Restaurant.
So that was, I never knew, I
That
was,
was, I mean, I'm going way back, I'm going to like the early 80s. Okay? And it was David's Restaurant, and in fact, the Davids all lived at Northwoods, and I only know that because I lived in the same building they did. But then when that went out of business, and then I think it was rental, there was offices in there, and then that place has probably been empty for like 15 years. Or
oh, at least,
Yeah.
more than that, I think.
See, I thought something was gonna happen last year when they redid the roof on it.
I know, I saw that too.
to be seen.
But
It'd be
yeah,
nice.
but it would be nice, like, if Eric tore that thing down.
Or if you put a viable restaurant in there.
I mean, nothing's ever lasted.
Yeah, that location for Russ, other than, there was a Chinese restaurant there for a long time, at least through the 80s, and then after that, it's
Yeah, I mean,
been
it's
kind of
got-
jinxed, nothing lasts more
I
than
think at this
3
point, it
years.
needs to be, it come down to the ground and then restart or something.
I was like,
There was the Hollywood,
okay, let's break this
a
record.
couple
Yeah.
of Asian restaurants.
Do it quick before 7:30.
Okay, I don't have anything else. So I'll entertain a motion to adjourn at 7:28 PM.
I motion to adjourn at 7. Is that?
Motion by Lorraine,
I will second.
second by Jim, all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
7:28 PM. Thanks, everybody.